Breaking news: the United States and its allies have paid dearly for aid to Ukraine, and they will pay even more. Western monetary aid to Ukraine may end up in the pockets of the Kiev elite. Joe Biden has become the worst U.S. president in the 21st century, and Putin's secret weapon has saved Russia's economy. But first things first. Friends, we will appreciate your likes, subscriptions and comments. They are very important to us. The U.S. and its allies could lose money to help Ukraine. This is the opinion of analysts of the national interest John Monza and Nicholas Williams. The publicists reminded that Washington has already faced a similar outcome in the past. For example, Monza and Williams pointed to Afghanistan and Iraq, where the White House has sent hundreds of millions of dollars. But in the end, American taxpayers' money went to the accounts of corrupt officials. A similar development is possible in Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in Europe, the analyst said. The authors noted that it is not a secret to anyone in the world that the level of corruption in Ukraine is prohibitive. For this reason, Western countries should take into account that the funds allocated to Kiev can go to President Zelensky and the Ukrainian ruling elite. The consequences of sanctions and thoughtless aid to Ukraine are increasingly turning ordinary Westerners against the ruling elite. Thus the incumbent White House President Joe Biden has become the worst president of the United States in the 21st century. This was the opinion of Ted Harvey, a former Republican senator from Colorado. In an article for The Washington Times, the politician expressed confidence that Republicans have every chance to defeat Democrats led by Biden in 2022. All it will take is a reminder of the president's string of failures. Why? Because Mr. Biden is the worst American president in decades. Compared to him, his former boss, President Barack Obama, looks a resounding success, which he wasn't. Harvey is sure. The Biden administration has become a comedy of errors which is no fun. Moreover, says Harvey, the Democrats' administration has negated any reason for optimism about the economy, illegal immigration, crime, public health, or foreign policy. Amid the suffering of the West because of its own sanctions, Putin's secret weapon has saved Russia's economy. The financial confrontation between Russia and the United States is not in favor of the latter. According to Phil Mattingly, the American journalist, Moscow has used the president's secret weapon to surprising effect. In February, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the launch of a special operation to denazify and demilitarize Ukraine, after which the West unleashed an avalanche of sanctions on Russia. But, noted CNN journalist Mattingly, the reality is that the country was surprisingly prepared for outside pressure. The Kremlin's coffers are overflowing from record oil and gas sales. Even McDonald's has reopened in Russia, writes the American journalist. The author notes that U.S. officials talk about their successes in the economic war with Moscow, seemingly without noticing the strengthening of the ruble. If CNN's sources are to be trusted, the U.S. Treasury believes the sanctions will be effective in the long run. Nevertheless, they acknowledge that Russia has done a great job of defending itself against sanctions. They include billions of dollars in foreign currency reserves, putting some companies under state control, and something like Putin's secret weapon. This is how Mattingly dubbed the 58-year-old Russian economist Elvira Nabiullina, who has headed the central bank for 9 years. The measures taken by the central bank have been very effective and allowed Russia to withstand Western restrictions. By raising interest rates, Nabiullina introduced capital controls and found loopholes that saved the economy. Russia has a very good head of the central bank. We knew it then, we know it now, CNN quoted an anonymous senior official as saying.